is cooking for Husbear. After a long summer of pride parades and clothing optional pool parties, my Husbear and I are really in the mood for something light and refreshing as a meal. Today I'm going to make some raspberry chicken, and it is the perfect recipe for my Husbear to feel like he is eating something healthy and refreshing, but still satisfying that grizzly appetite. First, we're going to get started with our chicken. Now, these are 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I have lightly dusted with flour. So we're just going to pop these on here. Hear that nice sizzling sound. And you're going to put these on for 3 minutes on one side and then a couple minutes on the other side. While that's cooking, we're going to get started on our sauce. Alright, I have 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I have 3/4 cup of chicken broth, 2 teaspoons of thyme. Make sure that you have enough thyme when doing this recipe. Salt and sugar and butter. Also, I have here some raspberries, fresh raspberries that I got from the store. Alright, with our sauce, I'm going to add our raspberries. Now, these are fresh raspberries, and I have frozen them, and I have thawed them back out. And what that is going to do is it is going to release all those wonderful juices. And you can see that beautiful color and all of this juice that is already coming out of here. Just gorgeous. That's going to give you a very nice, even texture, and bright color, and some amazingly fresh flavors. And in with that, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of the chicken broth. Now I have 3/4 cup in here, and I'm going to save some of that for later. Alright. I'm going to add the thyme. And it's 2 teaspoons of thyme. Make sure that you have enough thyme when preparing this recipe. And we're going to get that and set that up to a boil. I'm going to wait for this to boil and let it simmer down to a saucy consistency. Now, the thyme is a very earthy, kind of woodsy flavor, and the raspberries are going to be a very sweet flavor, and so those are going to work really well together. Alright, it looks like my chicken is about done. Alright, so we're going to move these over to the oven that I have preheated to 200 degrees. We're just going to keep these warm. Alright, now this is simmering down nicely. I can get started with my cornstarch concoction. Alright, the leftover chicken broth. I got 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I'm going to place in here and whisk it up. Now, once the raspberry sauce is done simmering down, I'm going to add this in, and it is going to thicken this up to a gorgeous consistency. Alright, looks like that is ready. Just waiting for this to... I wish you could smell that. That smells just great. The earthiness of the thyme and the sweetness of the raspberries is just wonderful. Now, I am going to strain this. Raspberries are notorious for all their little seeds, and I don't want my Husbear getting all those stuff in his teeth. So, I'm going to strain this out. Now, this is kind of messy, so I'm going to put down a towel and pink sauce, pink towel. I have a bowl and a sieve. Now, this is actually a splash guard. The sieve that I have actually has larger holes, and the seeds are going to fall through. I'm going to use this to get all those nasty seeds out. Alright. So I'm just going to spoon this over and push all that juice down. We got the juice left. Oh, it's just so beautiful. It smells delicious. Put that back in our pan. Remember our cornstarch concoction. We're going to pour that in here. I have 2 teaspoons of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That sugar is going to cut any tartness that may be left in the raspberries, and the salt is really going to brighten up those flavors. And then I have some red wine vinegar. And that is really going to bridge the gap between the woodsy flavor of the thyme and the sweetness of the raspberries. And lastly, some butter. This is 2 tablespoons of butter, or 2 teaspoons, excuse me. Tablespoons, that would be quite buttery. Now, as a young cub, I used to spend all my time in the kitchen with my mother, watching her whisk and whisk, and I just thought that was this beautiful thing, cooking for your husband. So that's what I'm doing. I simmered this for about 8 minutes, and then let it cool slightly, and you can see it's got a nice consistency to it. I can hear my Husbear is about to come in, so I'm going to get plated. And look how great these look. I have some fresh raspberries that I left over. I'm going to just pile those on top. Just going to spoon this over. And while my Husbear is getting situated, I am going to try a piece of the chicken. Oh, it's so good. The sweetness of the raspberries and the woodsiness of the thyme, it's just wonderful. Even a bear can't survive on beer and Little Debbie's alone. So whether you're coming home from the beer bust at the Hidden Door or just spending a quiet evening in, this is a great summer recipe to make sure that your bear's needs are satisfied. I'm Ben. This was Cooking for Husbear. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join us again.